Y'all will probably beat me. Y'all work me too hard. Well, before I come with top,
Can I have everyone's attention, please? Let's get back in our places and back into the sponge mode. All right, don't do that, Mark. You'll get me started.
Sorry, brother.
Oh, you're supposed to edify me now.
Let's have some peppermint, brother.
Oh, yeah.
This may not be.
One or two smart.
I don't know where. I don't know if this. Yes.
Because, you know, when I start out, I want to put the checklist.
If it's not, we can email it out to everyone. Okay. When you guys wind up your conversations, I'll get started. Wow. Thank you. That's love. I'm feeling you. That's great. In designing the process, what we have hoped to accomplish is a streamlined process that will not bog you down as processors, will not bog down the central hub, processing hub, and that will help empower the people. So with that in mind, there are some things that are impractical for you, for us as processors to involve ourselves in. And the homeowners or landowners also need to have the joy of being involved and the rewards of being involved. because it's a learning process, and the more they can be actively involved in the process, the more they learn, the more they know, the more they are edified, and when they are edified, their faith is strengthened, elevated, expanded, okay? So that gives them more, okay, faith is what?
The evidence of things hoped for,
The substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Now, that's what it is. Those are characteristics. Now, I'm going to ask a different question. What does faith mean?
First off, faith without works is dead. There's got to be some action involved.
There's action involved. Okay, the action's part of it. Some motion is involved.
Purpose.
We got cognitive,
Operative
motive.
pursuit. Yeah, go Edna, go.
I said cognitive, motive, persuasion.
Cognitive motive persuasion. You're so persuaded by that knowledge, certain knowledge, that you are moved to act. If you're moved to act, what are you going to be doing? You're going to be acting. You're going to be doing. So it's important for you to be familiar with the owner's checklist so you can give them some assistance on their end if they need it. And this is in part where a train-the-trainer principle is going to apply whether you officially train other processors or not. Okay? Because you're there as a somewhat of a trainer, somewhat of a mentor to these people who are coming to you for your help, your assistance with the process. So this seems kind of silly to put this up here first. Obtain and read owner's checklist. What we intend to do is make this checklist available online and get the word out so everybody knows that it's online where they can go get it. And it's also a mind jogger for us that, hey, the first thing you need to do is you need to get your checklist and you need to read it. Why would they want to read it? Or why would we want them to read it? Yes. They need to know what their part in the process is. What they are going to have to do in order to affirmatively secure their own ownership rights. So we direct them to the owner's checklist and to read the owner's checklist. That way, it's like, how do you know, if you don't know where you're going, how are you going to get there? You're just going to wander around like the children of Israel in the wilderness for 40 years. Well, we don't want that. We want to streamline the process, like I said. So, obtain and read the owner's checklist. All right? After they do this, they'll have an idea of what is involved. Let's see. So they'll go there and read what they're going to need, the kind of information, what they're going to need to do, the information that they're going to need to obtain for us, for themselves and for us. Okay, after obtaining and reading the owner's checklist, they'll need to get a certified copy of the deed, whatever kind of deed it is, if it just says deed or if it says warranty deed or whatever. If they have an original, that's awesome. But if they don't, which most people don't, they need to get a certified copy of the deed.
What about a quitclaim deed?
That's a deed. Okay? If it's on public record, if you have the original that was placed on public record, you have the original. That they would make the certified copy off of, right? Okay, obtain certified copy of land patent. Well, we're certainly not going to have the original land patent issued in the 1800s or whenever, right? So we need to get they need to get a certified copy of the land patent. Okay, after they do these two things, they need to obtain a control number and a processor assignment. So what they're going to do is they'll contact what you might call the central office or the hub for the process. They'll transmit the sum of the filing fees. It takes care of everyone's part in it, including the fees for the notary and the Bureau of Republic Records for their filing fees and their processing fees, and in the part that you well deserve for your labors. And so they'll transmit the sum of filing fees. After they transmit the filing fees, they'll receive a control number, and they'll receive the assigned processor name and contact information. So that's you. Why would we want them to go through this?
Now we know where all the fees are done and out of the way, and we're not going to be doing all the paperwork and sitting around waiting for them.
That's exactly right.
Payments.
All of a sudden now I really don't have it. Can we do this anyway? Well, how are we going to do it anyway?
Right. Okay, so what we're doing by adhering to this process is we're making sure that the fundamental things are already in place before you are engaged, because you have a limited amount of time. And it's foolish to waste our time and to be unwise stewards of our time, poor stewards of our time, okay? So that's what this is for. It gives them an opportunity to invest themselves in it. Not only do they have ownership concerns regarding the land, but they invest themselves in the process, all right? If they are unwilling to do this, or unable to do this, is it likely that they're going to be able to maintain a claim for their perfect title? No. Okay? So they need to have enough of whatever it takes to get the certified copy of the deed, to get the certified copy of the land patent, and have that. Once they have those two things, contact the hub and get their control number and the processor assignment after they transmit their filing fees. Okay, then after they've done this, then they can contact you, us. I'm probably not going to be involved. Hopefully, I'm going to have so much for public business that I won't have time for it.
I agree with that.
Yeah. Okay, now they're going to need to fill in legible print or type the following data. So they'll write down the control number. They'll write down the name or the names of the landowners. That's them. They'll write down the address of the landowner, the location of the land, the county and state, the office where the deed is filed, the name of the office. It's going to vary from state to state what that particular office might be called. And they need to write down the title of the head of that office, if it's register or clerk or probate judge or whatever. And then they need to write down the name of that head. They should already have this. If they've gone and tried to record an accepted deed, they should already have this information, right? Okay, and that's something that I didn't put in there that's not in here. We may need to add it. Present accepted deed for recording. This process is being fine-tuned, and we're going to have some things to work out. So this is not the final, but this is just to give you a good idea about the landowner's part in it. We'll need the address of that office and other contact information, telephone number, fax number, and an email address. Now, after the process is accomplished as far as you helping them do the filing with the Republic Records, they're going to need to publish and perfect the public notice that Tim talked about. When they publish and perfect public notice, then what that does is eliminates anyone attacking the credibility of their bringing forward that land patent. Okay, are there any questions on that? And if you guys are part of the process, and we're going to be relying on you to, if you see things ways that it can be improved, not to do it independently, but communicate with the hub, with Tom and Sharon, your ideas, your notions, and we'll get this thing polished up. Yes, sir.
Does it say anywhere on there that they have to be Republican?
No, it's,
Is that going to be somewhere?
well, see,
Find that out?
only a Republic member can do the process, all right? But that's going to be included in what I suppose in other notices, okay? In other words, it's the hub's responsibility to verify whether or not they are a Republic member. You shouldn't have to worry about that. By the time they get to you, it should already be verified. If they have a control number, and see, you'll be issued the control number too, so you can verify it. So no one can make up a control number and come in there and say, yeah, okay, I've got it, ready to go. So if their control number is not verified by the hub, by the main office, I wouldn't process it. Yes, sir.
You're saying number 6 is fill in the following data, which is this.
Mhm.
So, and they're filling this in where?
On the form. There's space right
This
there.
might be a form.
Yeah, they're going to just go online and
Okay.
get this off of a website. Okay, is there anyone who has any questions regarding why we would do this? It's pretty simple, straightforward. Okay, the other thing was certified mailing. How many of you have not done certified mailing before? Everyone's done certified mailing. Well, I'm going to go over it anyway. You have, if you're doing a certified mailing, you're going to have a green form, a certified mail label. It has, the ones now have a label with gum on the back, and it has a thin film over that. When you do the green card or the return receipt card, there's a number right here, a little strip, and you can fold it there. There's a cut in the paper but not in the backing. That little strip comes off, and you can put it right down here at the article number blank. And sometimes these get messed up. Sometimes the bottom of the card will be torn off by someone for some reason. Yeah? So what we've been doing is writing that number across the top of the card also. And what I found easiest to do is before I take this number off, if you'll fill in the blanks here first and know that you haven't messed up that form.
Right.
Okay? And fill in the address information, the addressee information here, so that you know that you haven't messed that up, and fill in the return information here so that you'll know you haven't messed that up. Then you can take this off and put it here, but before that, hold it right there, and it's easy to see. You can hold it over a little to the, if you're right-handed, a little to the left so you can read it while you're writing it, okay? Makes it real quick that way. Done so many of them, had to come up with a way to streamline that.
And that's a lot of wasted time. When you have to, I mean,
Oh yeah, if you have wasted motion,
mess it up.
you get a system in place. Yes, sir.
Well, with that, you can also get the signature and so forth from the post office they have when they deliver that, they have them sign it, and you can get that actually from the post office too.
Yes.
I've gotten printouts from the post office.
Yes.
When the cards.
If the card fails, but the thing is, if you don't stay on top of that, the time will run out and you won't be able to get it anymore. And I don't know what the time is now on that. But I think you may have about a year to do that. Another thing is, you can go online to the post office website and they'll give you the delivery information right there
But they won't show you
on the
the signature. You
website.
have to
They
get-
won't show you.
.com.
Yes, that's correct. The label goes here. Of course, your return address goes there. And make sure that you have room to put your return receipt right in there. And the address label, or you write the address right in here. Are there any questions on that? Yes?
Tim, I would also, as notaries too, of record, because we're all gonna be keeping records of these things too, I would hope. The notary can also take that transit number and put it in that record book as well.
Yes.
Just to-
You could do this as, if you are a notary, you could do this as a notarial act. Okay? And write down what was in the
Yes.
article of mail, the number and all that, and that way you can testify it later. You have a log of it.
I do recommend a notary present.
Yeah, well, what you're going to, as processors, what you will be doing with this is simply getting it to the Records Bureau. We shouldn't have to prove in court what we sent to the Records Bureau, okay?
I'm referring
But,
to the other direction.
yeah,
A loading title and all that.
yeah. But you do need to have a checklist, and you make sure that everything is in that envelope that needs to be in that envelope before you send it off. And then you keep a log on that as a processor or as a notary, or all of the above. Okay?
Tim,
Yes, sir.
which,
Yes, Gene?
the logbook for a notary, they told us that a notary, that if they ever have to prove anything, if they do not have a logbook with it logged in at the time it was mailed, they actually can't prove it. They will not accept it unless it's in a logbook. That's what we got that from the post office.
Yeah, okay.
Must be entered in the logbook when it's made.
There are a lot of de facto notaries especially who do not keep logbooks. It's best not to use one who does not keep a logbook. It takes extra time, but it's worth it. Now, if you have multiple documents associated with the process and the notary apparently signed it and put their seal on it, you can't say that the notarial act never occurred. You have proof that the notarial act occurred, all right? But you run in some other snags because of the lack of the journal, and that notary could be in a big bind, okay? So if you're going to do it, if you're going to be a notary, make sure that you keep a journal, a logbook of your acts. Any other questions or comments about certified mail? Of course, if you're going to do a registered mail, it's very similar, except you just have different forms. Okay? Is there anyone here who has not done a notary presentment or certificate of mailing? Okay. Ooh, I don't have that on here. I don't think I have that on here. I wasn't planning on going over it, but it just came to mind. But basically, if you do a certificate of mailing, you're going to have a notary, and you may do this as a notary yourself. Anyway, it'll say certificate of mailing at the top, or it'll say notary presentment, depending on what your objectives are, exactly what you're doing. and the notary will say "I" in their name, and they'll say that on such and such a day that, and by this particular means of service, United States Postal Service, certified mail number, ... The following was mailed. The following was mailed. The following items, okay, full colon, and then you do a list of the items, was mailed unto, and then the addressee, and then it's notarized below that. And that's the gist of the approach, whether it's a certificate of mailing or notary presentment. You don't have to word it in exactly that way, as long as you have who the notary is, what was done. It was mailed by certified mail or registered mail, the certified or registered mail number, the contents of the envelope, and the addressee. Okay, and then it's notarized. That way you have proof of what was in the envelope with that particular article number. Yes, Mark?
You have to photocopy it after it's notarized for your records.
Yeah, your photo.
The
Yeah.
notary is supposed to
Yeah.
seal the envelope.
Yes, the notary seals up the envelope or envelope, however you want to say it, depending on whether you're redneck or not. And that way they know exactly what was in there before it was sealed. Okay? Yes, Gideon.
Well, I've done it many times, and I use a particular form that was designed. And what was recommended to us was that you go to your mail service, something like Mailbox or something like that, and this is what Anisha and I have done, and that you have that third party actually put the items in the envelope.
Right. Yeah. See, but you as a notary doing this, you would be the third party on behalf of whoever you're doing it for. That, yeah.
And on this, it even says that I am a third party not related by blood in any way to this person, and I testify that these things were put in here, and so forth, listing all those things and the numbers and
Yes.
And Anisha would notarize that person's signature on it.
Normally what I do is I just,
Yeah, you could do that
I'll
too.
make 2 copies, and then I have the notary notarize it, both copies. And one of them he puts in the envelope, the other I've just got a copy showing what he
That's what we do.
Yeah. Yes.
Are you saying that serves as a log?
The what?
That serves as a log? No, the second one just has copy.
Okay, are there any other questions or comments regarding that? All right.
Tim? Brother Tim?
Yes, sir. Brother John.
Are we, no matter what mailing we do, should we do notary presentment?
That depends. I wouldn't worry about doing notary presentment if I'm sending something to the bureau, the Records Bureau.
Right, but I mean,
But if I'm concerned, if you have it in your journal what you sent, then that is an administrative record. Yeah, go ahead.
it is a hostile mailing to an entity that's liable not to be very pleasantly received or something, I was in the present.
Yeah, okay.
If you prove that you did.
Right. I was addressing when you're sending it to the Republic Records Bureau. Okay? But yes, when you're doing a potentially hostile presentment or mailing where the other party may be hostile, then you would want to do it.
This wine is on that side.
That's what I said, though. If you knock him off, you're going to have to send them.
Documentation is always a good thing.
Yes. I mentioned a book earlier, and some people have brought me a flash drive, and I have given them an electronic copy of the book and Rhema Righteousness. The Lord sequestered me for 9 months, and this was a result of that. And I'm going to share that with whoever would like a copy of it. I prayed about it. I sent it to Tate Publishing, which in 2006 was the #1 Christian book publisher, rated #1 Christian book publisher. They said it'd be all these number of weeks before they got back with me. Within 1 week, I got a contract offer signed by them. Okay, I didn't accept it. De facto, okay, there were some things that they wanted me to agree to that I didn't want to agree to. So, but anyway, this is you'll get a copy of the cover page. Oh man, I don't know what's up with that. It looks like I don't have a full.
Click on precision, 130%.
100, yeah, that'll do it. All right, the miraculous and superabundant provision of life, true and unfailing security, rhema righteousness, revelatory key to the King's treasure house. Now these are some things. These are some things that the Lord gave me. Okay, day by day over that 9-month period. Some things He had already shown me. All right, but these are some things He helped me see over that 9-month period. He'd wake me up in the morning with where I should begin, and I'm going to share one thing out of the book. And you'll see that there are some typos in there. Okay, where am I messing up here?
Maximize it.
Maximize.
The little square, top right.
Right there.
No, you were on too far.
What?
Now do the, go up to the black of the toolbar.
Scroll to the right, then hit maximize.
That's fine. On the bottom.
Scroll.
Go to,
Right down here. All right. I'm on 100%.
100%.
Huh?
100%.
Step down to 75%.
Yeah, 75.
100% should.
Yeah, but you're not checking the full page. Just go to 75 or 80%.
I don't want the full page on there. See that? That didn't help. There we go.
Whole page.
Whole page? Now, I'm not familiar with this version of the software. That's my problem.
Can I try from now?
Yeah, please.
Okay,
Just type in 80% or something.
Okay, you put this in the wrong place.
That's the resolution of the screen.
Okay.
I didn't. I've never had it come up like that. Of course, I use a different version of software.
But 100% type 80 in and it'll do it.
Tim,
Mm-hmm.
is it in this book that you have,
Yes.
is a lot of the stuff what you shared yesterday morning in that book?
There are some of what I shared, and a whole lot more. Okay. I gave you a tip of the iceberg yesterday morning.
Is that better?
Yeah, maybe that'll work. But I need to be able to scroll. Yeah.
Straight to the panel on the right.
Or this, yeah. Up and down.
See, it's still not. Let me reduce it some more.
Give it the panel on the right and it'll show the full page.
Do what now?
Right
See the panel on the right?
Right click on the toolbar on the right side.
Uh-huh.
That's in the way.
Drag that whole picture to the left a little bit. Then right next to the red X, you'll see maximize. Click on the mouse button. There you go. Right next to the-
Right there?
There you go. Now you got it.
Okay. There we go.
You got it, Mark.
Thanks. Thank you very much. Sometimes you have to help us old rednecks out. I'll read it for you. It's hard for you to see. O fountain of living waters, through the heavenly portal and way on your right hand, pour forth yourself in me. Make your great river of the water of life flow in me and fill me. Clear the sediment and debris and everything unclean, and wash it all away, revealing and magnifying unto all who gaze upon me the stone hewn without hands. The stone you have laid for my foundation, and exalted on every side and on high for my bounds. Make the stone, the portal, the way, visible and clear through you in me. O fountain of living waters, through the heavenly portal and way on your right hand, pour forth yourself in me. Deposit and create in me everything of your likeness, O rock of my salvation, cause of my being, cause of my living, cause of my becoming, that I might be exactly like you in my living, my image fully transformed into yours. Like the stone you have laid for my foundation and exalted on every side and on high for my bounds. The stone being duplicated by you in me, in the image of you, who are the rock from which it was hewn. O fountain of living waters, through the heavenly portal and way on your right hand, pour forth yourself in me. Well up in me until there is no room for anything but you in me, making me spill out rivers of you unto those all around me, so that they may partake of you in your word and way and truth and life. Do this, I pray, in the name of the portal, the way, the stone on your right hand, O fountain of living waters. And then I go into an explanation of the words in that prayer. And I hope for those of you who choose to get a copy of this that it will bless you. All right, so I'll make that available. I have a little computer in there if you want to bring a thumb drive. Or if you don't have a thumb drive with you and you'd like for me to send you a copy, just give me your email address and I'll do that. Okay? All right. That's all I have, Brother Tim. I'm interrupting your chiropractic session. All right, take 5 while he gets his tune up.
I don't have a blank thumb drive. I've got limited space on the thumb drive.
Okay.
So, here's the case law in his book.
The what, sir?
The case law in your book. I just got this from Daniel.
I don't have the case law.
It's on here. Daniel just gave me this, and I
Yes.
put it onto my computer.
Okay.
So I don't know who wants this next.
Okay, well, where did Daniel... I gave it... Daniel gave it to me and I put my book on it.
Yep, the book's on here, and case law's on.
Yeah, okay.
So I don't know who wants it next.
I don't know, give it back to Daniel, maybe he'll...
Well, I don't want to